present my case and tell everybody a little bit about myself. This is the first time I'm running for any office. I'm no kind of public speaker, as you can already tell. And I actually have social anxiety disorder, so it's really tough for me to even come to this group, much less speak in front of it. So I have not yet filled out any forms as far as running for candidacy. The Libertarian Party, what we do is we have a convention each year. It's a little bit different. There's no kind of primary. We send delegates from every county. They go up to Indianapolis or wherever our convention is and vote. Vote there for who we're running for. And for the 8th district is myself, as well as a man named Dave Crooks from Terre Haute. I'm pretty well favored to win there, so you should all see me on the ballot then. I've not officially announced my candidacy, so today will be the first that I've announced to anyone other than my family and friends. And I'd like to tell everybody just a little bit about myself personally, get to know me. I'm 36, born and raised in Evansville. I work for a company called ComScore, which has television advertising and digital, anything to do with the internet. I have 2 children, 14-year-old son, Mason Hart. He's not biologically my son. I met his mother when he was about 1 month old, and dated for a few years. Decided that we weren't really compatible. We started to split up, but we decided for him that we were going to stay together, and we decided to get married because of that. A couple of years after being married, we had a daughter. It's my daughter McKenna. She's 9 years old today. After a few years, we did split up. Around that time, I was sent down to Mexico to do some training, and I met my beautiful wife there in Zurich. At first, we didn't have any interest in each other. She was dating somebody. I had just gotten divorced, so really didn't pay much attention at the time. I do remember making a joke when I first met her to one of my friends that I was going to marry her one day. And she ended up coming to Evansville for about a year to do some training, working in our company up here. We didn't spend much time together. Near the end, we spent the last couple weeks kind of getting to know each other, becoming friends. And as she went back to Mexico, we stayed in touch online and a few times over the phone. And one day I just decided, hey, we need to be together. You need to come up here and move up here. And so she did. And we've been married for a couple years now. I was born and raised a Republican. My whole family was Republicans. Nobody's ever voted anything other than that. And I spent a lot of time, especially whenever I was a teenager, that time of your life, whenever you kind of go against your parents and go against everybody. And I kind of disagreed with a lot of stuff that the Republican Party was doing and talking about. And I thought that they seemed, even though they were talking about being conservative, that they really truly weren't. And I thought this was just, me being a teenager and kind of going against what everybody else was doing. But then as I started learning and talking to other people, I realized that I was a libertarian. And the reason for being a libertarian is basically, it's, to me, the most conservative thing that you can be. The whole basis, if you don't know much about it, is simply you can do anything that you want in life. Just don't infringe on the rights of others. It's just a plain, simple message. And I started to get involved in the Libertarian Party because I saw Republicans, Democrats alike, kind of coming together as one big, what I like to call, a business, in which we need to make money from these big organizations in order to get elected. And then once we're elected, we need to give these big organizations what they need in order to get more money to get elected. And instead of looking after the role of the people, it's become more of a business where they're making money, becoming more powerful. And that wasn't what I wanted to do. And that's when I joined the Libertarian Party a couple years ago. I'm the county chairman. And we're looking basically just to give each and every person their personal freedoms back. There's a few things that I want to go over as far as why I think any of you should vote for me tonight rather than a Republican. I was able to meet with Kristi a couple weeks ago. I know most of you are supporting her today. We discussed for a couple hours a lot of the different issues going on today. And at the end, we had agreed on everything. Kristi's an incredibly conservative person, good mother. So much we agreed that I asked her at the end, why aren't you a libertarian? Why are you a Republican? And I think she agreed for the most part that the two-party system isn't really working very well, and that we really needed something different. We disagreed on what that should be a little bit. To me, I think that working with the Libertarian Party is the right way to go. I think she believes a little bit more that working within the system helps, especially helping to get you elected, since there haven't been very many libertarians elected throughout our history. But if you look at the Libertarian Party itself, it's basically just a Tea Party. I mean, 40 years ago, around the time that Richard Nixon was around, things started going south, started getting more big business, caring less about liberties, personal responsibility, and that's how the Tea Party, or that's how the Libertarian Party was founded. The most conservative people from the Republican Party left the party in order to start something different and get a fresh start, a fresh name. And I think that's a lot what the Tea Party is trying to do as well. Staying within the Republican Party, but still breaking off enough to say, hey, you know, you're doing the wrong thing. We need to turn things around and make a change. Of the few things that I think would be a reason to vote for me or any other libertarian, as opposed to any Republican, would be, the first thing is electability. I know, you know, a lot of you would laugh about that, since not very many libertarians have actually been elected. But at this point in time, more and more people are moving to libertarian ideals and towards our beliefs. And you can see that along with the Republican presidential debates right now with Ron Paul and his libertarian beliefs. I also believe that there's a lot of people that are turning independent because they're just sick and tired of all of the runaround that they're getting from both the Republican and Democratic parties. I think people are leaving both parties just by the flocks. They don't want anything to do with it. The people aren't representing the people and individuals. They're representing their party. Another thing that I believe that you would like to vote for a libertarian as opposed to Republicans would be the influence that we would have inside Congress. As a Republican, you're going to be one of a couple hundred. As a libertarian, you're going to stand alone, and you're going to represent the Constitution. As any bill comes through, down to the floor, you're going to have every single Republican, every single Democrat is going to have to come to you. It's going to put the emphasis on the one person to try to get their vote, which is going to give them the power to make any changes that you want made. It's going to give you the power to make decisions. It's going to give you the power to get the national attention from the media and from all of the other representatives from that district. And I think just those few things, as far as looking towards somebody a little bit more liberty-minded, a little less influenced by the party, would be reasons that you would look to vote for me and to vote for a libertarian as opposed to Republican or Democrat. So I'd like to thank everybody for having me, giving me this chance to speak and kind of not only present my case, but get over my fears a little bit. So I'd like to thank everybody, and God bless.